Is it recording? Mm-hmm. Hey everybody, this is Oliver Manalise.
Christopher Lim.
You're watching the Holistic Entrepreneur Radio Show. Welcome back for those of you who've been watching faithfully. And today is what? Thursday, July 26th. And we're on episode 18.
Cool. Episode 18.
Can you believe that? That's a lot of episodes now.
You keep bringing it up every episode, what episode it is.
Pardon me?
You keep counting.
Why not, man? Well, if we have a guest on the show, I want to be able to tell people it was an episode X.
Oh yeah,
whatever it is, they're on the show. So if you're watching this for the first time, this is about how everything is connected, and some people think that things are separate, like their life and their work, but it's not. Like what you eat is gonna impact your health, and what you eat is gonna also impact how much money you're gonna spend on that food.
Yeah.
And where does that money come from? It's gonna be your work, and your work is it a source of passion, fulfillment, and it's just huge wheel.
Yeah, and what you eat will dictate how you feel, and how you feel dictates your health, and the fact that if you want to work out or not, and your level of consciousness, and how productive you are,
your willpower,
absolutely everything.
Yeah, so that's what we talk about here, and we've had, like I said, we have guests. We've had tons of guests on the show. We've had crew Nick Batista.
It actually is outside.
Yeah,
I wish it was actually that.
Here it looks, it looks great. Because this is the set.
It's dark. It's
the set looks like that, yeah.
Shoot.
But we had Nick Batista. We talked a lot about, how his experience in martial arts and self-defense, and, really delving into people's stories. We've had, who else have we had? Ian Szabo, who's an author of From Rentals to Riches.
Szabo, yeah.
Talking about
Samantha,
flipping houses.
And nutrition.
Samantha Gladys was on the show talking about holistic nutrition.
Yeah.
We've had
Cam McCarroll.
Cam McCarroll's he hasn't been on the show.
Was he on the show?
Come on, you don't even remember?
No. Oh, Mike has been.
He's going to be on the show.
I'm thinking Mike's been on the show.
Mike Gillespie's been on the show. He's a coach. He's a business and life coach. Joe Yorgona, also a real estate entrepreneur.
My brother's been on the show. He's one of our first guests.
Yeah,
so entrepreneur, restaurateur.
We've had a lot of people, and I think it's really cool.
Muhammad
being able to get these people's perspectives.
Yeah,
right?
Yeah. A lot of different approaches and mindsets and thoughts and values, and it's really good to see.
Yeah, because the whole idea is, when you're looking at success and wealth, it's just a matter of what's important to you. What are the things that you value? It's individual, right? And as long as you're achieving your goals and it's within, you're achieving your goals and staying within your values, that's really what's important.
You're living a holistic life.
You're living a holistic life.
Yeah.
And it's whatever is valuable to you. And it's going to be different for every single
individual.
person.
Absolutely. It's individual.
And that's part of what this show is about.
It changes as you get older, and things change.
What's important and what you value change.
Of course.
Yeah.
Of course. Because I have kids now. Obviously, when I didn't have kids, sure. When I was single, things were...
They're different values.
A lot different than when you have kids and family, and you got other stuff to consider.
Exactly. And I don't know what that's like either, right?
Yeah.
And when I do have my own kids and have my own family, my values and priorities
change, of course,
are going to change. And I want to construct goals and take action steps to achieving goals that will help me put my time, my energy, my resources, and my love into the things that I value the most at that time.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Cool, man.
Awesome.
So that's what we have going on at this show, and we definitely appreciate all the support. We're getting a lot of good feedback. I know we've already have booked Scott Bradley
for next week.
That'd be
cool. Yeah,
Scott
we haven't had a guest in what,
couple weeks.
Yeah, like 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Oh, that's not bad.
You know why? Because I missed this conversation.
Yeah.
It's different than when we have a guest.
Much different
on the show. We talk about a lot of different things, and I think people will get a lot of value from different perspectives.
Because I think when we have conversations, we can get a lot deeper. Mm-hmm. Because when we have somebody else on the show, there's a lot of time interviewing and discussing, what they want and who they are and how they are holistic entrepreneurs.
Mm-hmm. And because we want to get to know them and find out, it's like, what are the little gems? What are the things that make them so successful?
Yes.
And try and draw that out for the show.
Yeah.
Really, right?
For the audience, for all you millions watching at home.
Yeah, and Scott Bradley, essentially, he is one of the first people I had on Facebook. I joined one of his Facebook pages, and now he has a couple websites going. Leanstrongbody.com. He transformed his body in 6 months. Fantastic. Lost a ton of weight. I think it was like over 40 pounds or 50 pounds.
Good for him.
A ridiculous amount. Now he's doing a 90-day challenge to himself to get a 6-pack by October.
Cool.
He started another site, Brilliant Business Advice, which is ridiculous. I have no idea how he puts so much content out there. And it's for entrepreneurs. Any type of information. If you're an entrepreneur, if you're in marketing, if you're in sales, like so much value.
That's cool.
This guy drops down. And he has another email list, weekend reading for entrepreneurs.
Oh, nice, yeah.
So he's doing a lot of different things, and it's going to be a really interesting conversation. We're really excited to have him.
Yeah, that'll be fun. And we got to figure out how to, because he's on the West Coast, right?
Yeah, so we're going to be rocking a live Skype call for the first time.
That'll be cool.
It'll force us to figure out how to do it. We have 7 days. More like I have 7 days, because I'll be the one looking at it.
You're probably going to be the one looking at
it, guy.
Hey, man, my time's occupied with these two little
monkeys. I know, man. That's all good. It's all good. That's what it's all about, man.
That's okay.
So what's been new?
What's been new? Jeez. There's been a lot that's happened in the past week.
Yeah, I know.
A lot.
Well, you've been scuba diving. You have so much gear.
So, scuba diving. I picked up some gear. So you're getting your certification, right? Yeah. So I've done two classes. My third class will be next week, and then that'll be the final test. Then I'll be able to and then I've got to do an open water. Like, I guess 4 open water dives or something. Then I'll have my full open water certification. That'll be sick.
Wow. That's amazing, man.
And then you're up next.
So yeah, I gotta sign up for August.
Dude,
right? Yeah. Well, I'm gonna be away at the end of August.
It only takes 3 weeks. You can do it in September too.
September too. Yeah.
Right. You just have to. It's just have 3 consecutive weeks. As long as you do the 3 weeks before we leave, you can actually. We were talking.
You can go right up.
Yeah, they were saying you can actually do your open water dives in Trinidad.
And then get your certification
and
there.
You get the full certification.
Oh my god, cool.
Yeah.
Okay, so there's lots of time.
There's time. Yeah, you just have to allocate the 3 consecutive Tuesdays. That's all you need to do.
So how has learning how to scuba dive, like how does that interwoven into like other experiences in your life? Like learning something new. Like were there anything about the process that reminded you of something else?
Well, to me, because
that's a retarded environment to be in.
It's crazy. It's crazy.
Like water for miles. Like you're in the middle of.
Yeah, it's a completely new experience to be able to breathe underwater.
Yeah,
I mean, just think about that. Like you're breathing underwater. It's so cool. But
you've conquered nature, but you haven't.
Yeah, you haven't. But you're still at the mercy of water underneath. I mean, we're diving in a pool and it's only 16 feet. Right? I mean, worst case scenario, you just jump off the bottom. And
so pressure-wise, you don't feel anything.
You do feel the pressure a little bit, but it's not like you're 40 feet down, right, or 60 feet,
which is what you're normally doing.
Like 40 to 60 feet is probably where, like that's probably where we're gonna be diving, like 40 feet, I would think.
That's crazy.
So more than double what we're doing right now, which is, I mean, it's amazing. And then just endless water. Right now we're in a pool where you could see the walls, you could see other people. I guess I don't know. I've never been open water diving, but it's just like
it's different.
Darkness all around, or just like water for as far as you can see.
That sounds so crazy.
It sounds cool, but for me, the scuba it was pretty easy to pick up because of the swimming background. It was just sort of like a natural progression, and the pool that we're in, I've been in that pool.
Scuba diving is not swimming.
No, it's not
at all, right?
No.
It's just your legs, just
your leg kick,
not your hands at all.
No, you don't use your hands. I mean, a little bit.
So is it chilled, or like, are you using a lot of body? Like, are you using your muscles a lot? Are you working? Are you working out hard?
Yeah, it's not a hard workout, but it's activity.
A constant cardio workout.
Constant cardio workout. And then you couple that with like thermogenics and the fact that the water pulls out and draws out heat. I think I was reading in the book it draws out heat like 20 times faster than air.
So your body is like burning calories like crazy.
Oh yeah,
that's cool. That's good.
You gotta generate heat to keep warm.
Is the beach? I mean, so in Trinidad, is the water gonna be warm? I'm assuming it's gonna be warm, right? Or like gonna be a good temperature?
It's gonna be a good temperature.
I'm assuming like if you go scuba diving in in a lake or something like that, it's gonna be freezing.
Oh yeah, here compared to Trinidad.
Yeah.
If you go in the Great Lakes here, it's gonna be a lot colder than when we go there.
Yeah.
But
so when you go there, you probably don't even have to rock like a suit. Like
no,
a
you should.
Suit. You should.
Yeah,
you should.
Yeah.
Why is that? Because I always see Mark not rocking a suit.
Well, it depends how long the dive is. Like, if you're only going to dive for 10, 15 minutes, then maybe you don't need a wetsuit. Mm-hmm. And it depends on the depth. The further you go down, the colder it's going to be. And if you stay there too long, then you might get cold, hypothermia, and then that's the end of your dive.
Is there anything to master? Is there, like, once you know how to scuba dive, like, is there anything else after that? Is it just a matter of just going to more and more places and is there anything new like to master as a scuba diver?
Yeah, because that's like actually something that I was interested in. So just kind of going back on your question, just scuba diving in general is it's one of those like holistic goals that you have, right? It's one of those things that you want to learn. It's like surfing and snowboarding, scuba diving. It's just one of those things. So when I started to learn more about it, it's like instantly I was like, I get it. I understand it, and then I was wondering the same sort of thing. Are there other levels? Are there other things you can learn? Are there other levels to advance to? And there is some actual other stuff that you could do. So you can, I think with the certification, I think the DPC can go as like 60 feet.
Okay.
And then you can get another certification that'll bring you to like 100 feet.
Holy crap.
And then you get another certification that you can go deeper than 100 feet.
Are you kidding me?
Yeah, that's crazy.
So it's really more, how deep can you go?
Yeah. How deep?
How far is the ocean floor?
I wouldn't even know. I don't think you could just get like a regular certification and go to the bottom of the ocean in the deepest part.
That is scary. I can't even.
Yeah. Because there's some.
Okay, this is how. Okay, you know how I imagine scuba diving? I imagine it being like you're in space.
I would think.
That's how I imagine it would feel like.
Yeah.
You're floating in space. Nothing is like you're just floating.
Yeah.
And everything else is just vast and distant.
Yeah, that's what it's like.
Yeah,
like because
silent, you don't hear anything.
Because the point of scuba diving is to maintain what they call natural buoyancy. So a point where you're not floating, but you're not sinking.
Yeah, so you're just level.
Yeah. But as you inhale, the oxygen, you're going to go up a bit, and you exhale, you're going to go down a bit. So you're just kind of going like that.
It's very slight.
Very slight.
Wow.
So the thing you need to learn, the thing that you need to master in the beginning part is breathing. That's the thing that
that's the thing I'm like
breathing. So
because of yoga, I'm so used to breathing,
nose breathing,
just like your giant breath like through your nose. Even when I'm doing weights, I find that I'm breathing more with my nose.
Oh yeah.
Like, and I'm just like, oh no, I'm not supposed to do that. You're supposed to breathe with like exhale through your mouth.
When you're doing
from
weights?
What I know, like you get more power from. I don't know if you get more power from it, but. I was doing it with my nose, and I was like, oh man, like I'm so used to doing it in yoga. I wonder how it is in scuba diving when you're not using your nose at all.
Yeah, you can't.
And you're
not going to use your nose at all.
You're going to get salt water in your brain.
That won't feel good.
That's not good.
Well, you only get salt water if water fills your mask.
Holy shit.
But you won't be able to inhale at all.
So it's like you're just always breathing through your mouth. Oh, yeah, I can't imagine that right now, man.
Yeah.
Is that hard to practice?
I don't know. It wasn't hard for me.
Yeah? Oh, you've been swimming.
I've been
so
swimming
you've always
for so
exhaled.
long. Yeah, I've been so used to breathing through my mouth through swimming. It was just like a natural progression.
Yeah.
It's easy to pick up.
Oh my god.
And then just...
I can't wait to try it out then.
Yeah, it's cool.
Crazy. I gotta get it, you know? My friend, Rob Chambers, he's the one with the magazine in Australia. He used to have a website called Dive Exchange.
Oh, really?
And it was he's super into scuba diving.
Cool. Well, he's in good places.
He created a website just for it.
He's in
Thailand. He goes all over the place.
Yeah.
He's gone all over the place, right? And it's scuba diving. And I'm just like, oh man, it's been years, and I've wanted to do it, and like this is like the actual year that I'm going to be doing it.
I know.
So that's pretty awesome. Yeah,
that's good. No, it's incredible. I like how they talk about, if you go on vacation, you're going to the Caribbean or places where they have scuba diving, you're only seeing 50%. You're only having 50% of the vacation if you can't get underwater. Because just say, like Hawaii, right, and Thailand, and anywhere in the Caribbean.
So have you, because you got a lot of gear.
I did actually get a...
Was that planned, or was that just like...
No, it was just more spur of the moment.
Ooh.
It was sort of... I justified it by
YNAB? Was that YNAB budgeted for?
No, it was not budgeted for. It was more my birthday.
We should talk about YNAB, actually.
We should. Yeah, but it was more... It's my birthday, and let me just get some stuff.
That's not that expensive, right?
Actually, no, you're getting
two people's worth, right?
Well, we ended up... we got the thing that I wanted was a lot of it. Yeah, all was. I didn't get anything new. Everything was used.
That'd be stupid. I think.
New stuff,
especially if it's like just expensive. A new hobby.
Yeah,
like, I don't think you should spend.
We didn't spend ridiculous amounts, but we ended up getting good gear that will be able to last us for a long time. Because I did a little bit of research on it. Yeah. So the things we have will help reduce cramping, which reduces fatigue, and will make the dives more enjoyable. That's something I was thinking about.
Be down there longer, more efficient with your oxygen.
Yeah. So instead of thinking, oh shit, my freaking legs are cramping, you can just enjoy. So I was thinking about stuff like that.
Cool, man.
I got a vest for myself and snorkel.
So how much does it cost for someone to start?
It's inexpensive. A little, you know what?
Like for the gear, just if you're getting the basic gear. Like
if
under
the thing about it is you don't need the gear.
Because you could just rent it.
You could just rent it. Yeah, you could just rent all of it. Normally, if I was just starting if I didn't get the vest, I would just at least get my own mask, snorkel, and fins.
That's it, minimum.
I would get that.
You just go snorkeling.
Myself. Yeah, you could just go.
Yeah, use it to go snorkeling.
Yeah,
right.
Exactly.
Cool. Okay.
Exactly, and then stuff like the suit, gloves, boots,
and like the pack, and all that stuff,
the vest. Yeah. You could rent all that.
So there's a bunch of stuff. Okay.
So just to get that, I mean, a couple $100.
Yeah.
You want a good set of fins. It'll probably cost you between $100 and $250. A mask will be under $100. Snorkel will be like $20.
And you'll be doing it for the rest of your life.
And that's the other thing too. Yeah. That's stuff that will last you years.
Yeah, it doesn't matter how old you are, you can go scuba diving.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I mean?
It's like snowboarding, right? Like you can get set up and be on the hill with all your own gear for like $1,100, $1,200.
Yeah.
Between $1,000 and $1,500.
Yeah, and then something like paddleboarding is just like right off the bat, all you need is a board.
Yeah, and a paddle.
Spending like $2,000.
Exactly.
Exactly. And a paddle.
A paddle
like $1,000 to $2,000.
$1,000 to $200.
Which is we got a deal for a paddle if we wanted one, free paddle.
Yeah, free paddle.
But still, that's
Yeah,
I guess new hobby, minimum $1,000 probably.
Yeah, but a lot of the hobbies that we're into are stuff that we can do for the rest of our lives, and the gear will. I mean, you get a paddleboard as long as you treat it well.
And it's mostly like sports and recreational types of hobbies too.
Well, like those types of hobbies, like those athletic activities are stuff that we could do for years. It's like even with mountain biking, right? Because you're probably going to get a bike this year, next year too.
I'm probably going to wait till November.
That'll be like between $1,000 and $2,000 right there too. But then that could last you the same thing. Like
so let's talk about let's talk about that, about the YNAB.
Yes,
because you're talking about you're gonna
budgeting.
if you're getting into a new hobby, if you're getting into something new, like a new activity, like you might be signing up to a gym for the first time, a yoga studio, like you might be playing a sport like hockey or something like that, and you've never
any new hobby,
whatever it is, you can be collecting something. I don't know. But you're going to need to save up money. You're going to have to budget it somehow.
Yeah, allocate. Yeah. You're going to have to allocate funds.
And we've both started using maybe a month now, right? A month or a month.
I started using it
a couple weeks.
June?
Not too long.
1st of June. Or the middle of June.
Not too long. But it's called You Need a Budget.
YNAB.
YNAB for short. You need a budget.com. And what's your experience with it? Because you've tried, you're like me, you've tried a couple different
I've tried a couple different ones. I really like this one because it's very straightforward. It's easy to set up, and they break it down to make it very easy. So you just input your accounts, you just put in your balances, and then whenever you spend, you just input, and then that's on the account side. But then on the budgeting side, it forces you to take a look at your budget, right? This is your budget for the month. Whatever, $3,000 a month is what you need for expenses to live, and then you be able to budget everything that comes in. So you get a paycheck that comes in, you know exactly where that money's going right off the bat. That's what I like. Yeah, and it allows for flexibility too, which is nice.
It's the philosophy that's really cool to me. I don't know if you read the guidebook, like the free book.
No, I didn't read.
It's a free ebook.
Oh yeah,
and it's very short. It's like 60 pages or something like that. And it's like, to me, it's just like the product itself just implements their actual method, their methodology, and that's really what they are. Like they're more of like an education type of company, but they have a software to implement what they're teaching, because they have free webinars, free courses. All of this is free, right? And It's like the four rules, right?
All the
free
education,
free help, and they have a forum too. And what's great about it is that they have the four rules, and it's like number one, I think it's give every dollar a job.
Give every dollar a job, yeah.
So as soon as money comes in, it's like, okay, I have $3,000 here, and what do I need to spend my money on? You know, like, okay, I have to make sure that I have enough money for my insurance and my gas.
Yeah.
I have to make sure I have enough money to put food on the table for the next 3 weeks or 4 weeks or whatever it is before the next month. And it's like, instead, when you're going shopping, you're not looking at, it's like, oh, I have a $3,000 balance. Okay, I could go spend this money.
Yeah.
It's like you're looking at, okay, I have $300 budgeted for groceries, and that's what I have in my pocket, and that's not like, okay, I'm good. I know I can use.
That's what I'm going to use. Yeah.
Yeah, and you're not. So instead of relying on just like, here's my bank balance, it's like no, like, is it budgeted for? Have you saved up enough money? And it's like it keeps it really, really cool, just like projecting forward for a month.
Yeah. And then the whole goal is to be able to project, 2, 3, 4 months, so that the goal at the end of like 6 months is you're living off of the paycheck from today, 6 months from now.
Exactly.
So you've got that budgeted.
You're living on yesterday's money.
You're living on yesterday's money, yeah.
So it's like, instead of living paycheck to like, I think part of their saying is stop living paycheck to paycheck.
Or stop living off tomorrow's money.
Yeah, stop living off tomorrow's money, start living on yesterday's money.
Yeah.
So it's like, it's going to be August next week. Once you're in the 3 to 4 month period, I think he says is the average for all the users, then you're living on the previous month. So all the money that you made in July, you're using in August. You're budgeting in August.
Yeah.
And as you're spending that money, your August income is coming in, and then your August income you spend in September.
Yeah.
Which is really like a really good position to be in, because then you could just be like, oh yeah, it's like boom, I could just spend like, just because it's already been budgeted for, and it's already yesterday's money.
Yeah.
And then everything that's coming in, you're not even spending, and it's going to be for the next month, and it'll start to carry over and over and over. Then you have this huge slush fund.
Yeah. Which is good. That's what it's meant for, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's really good, and I like how they're coming out with the iPad app or iPhone app. I haven't tried it yet, but that I think will also help, so that you can immediately put in what you're spending. You could see how much you have allocated for groceries, or you want to go see a movie on the fly. Okay, how much do I have allocated, budgeted for recreation and entertainment and stuff like that. So I like that.
It's so good, man. I'm finding a lot of value in it, and I've only been using it consistently for maybe a week or maybe 2 weeks.
Oh yeah,
I've had it for like a month, but it was never, or like a month and a half, and I haven't been using it consistently.
I think it's important too, because
you have to do it every day. You have to use it every day.
Well, I don't do it every day. I mean, I try to do it every day, but at least every like 3 days would be the max I would leave it.
Yeah.
So sometimes like on the weekend, I won't do it Saturday, Sunday, and then I'll come in on Monday and I'll look at okay, what happened Friday night, Saturday, Sunday.
Yeah, you keep your receipts and keep track of that stuff, right?
Yeah.
But it's really, I mean, it really tells you a lot about what you're committed to, like where your money is actually going.
Where your money is actually going.
Because you might be like, like I think I want to spend $300 on groceries this month, but then you might spend that all in a freaking day.
Yeah.
And you're like, oh wait, I kind of underestimated what I actually spent on groceries.
And that's the other thing.
That's a good lesson.
It's a good lesson too, to see, okay, is $300 a month realistic to be able to spend on groceries?
Or is it like, does it just not make sense for me to be budgeting so little and always feeling like a failure?
Yeah, exactly.
Maybe I should be budgeting double. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's like, it gives you that check and balance. It's not about like being perfect, but it's about like kind of just tracking it and then making adjustments and improving it.
That's the thing I do like about it. It does allow for flexibility. So if you spend $350 on groceries when you only had $300 budgeted, then you got to take that $50 from somewhere else. Okay, well, I had $100 for recreation. Okay, I now only have $50. I got to spend that extra $50 on groceries. So I like that, how you can allocate it and see that you're still in budget, or you're still over budget, or you're still under budget, or I like how it does that. And
it's almost like if something happens, like let's say that happens, you spend more money than you thought you wanted, then you can go back to it and just be like, okay, what is like not necessary, and I can just take it away from that account.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I know this month I'm not gonna have to fix my car, so I'll take that $100 and I'll put it towards like groceries. Now I'm not over by that much. And like you're playing with it and you're just like, oh, and then you're actually there and you're involved with your money.
Yeah.
And you have like, It's a new I think it's a new relationship.
It's
with
absolutely
money,
a new
man.
relationship with money. Yeah,
I think that's huge.
I think that's the point that I wanted to get into. Is it forces you to have a relationship with your money.
Yeah,
and it's important, especially in today's day and age, and it's important, you know, for entrepreneurs, especially entrepreneurs like yourself who don't have consistent paychecks.
Yeah, exactly. If every paycheck is coming from you don't even know where,
yeah, and you don't even know when, and you don't even know how much.
Some months might be skinny, some months might be completely flush with cash, and you want to be in the new habits of being able to stretch that money out, right? You want to budget it forward so you have that money to last until the next paycheck.
Yeah, that's a great point.
Instead of like, oh, I have this. You know, I have 10 grand in the bank, just boom, 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 and then you don't have anything for 2 months.
Yeah,
anything can happen, and this I think it gives you like the habits of watching it, of working on your money, on your relationship with money, and like seeing like what are you, like making sure that your money's doing what's valuable to you, what's important to you.
Exactly. And that's another real important point is having your money do what's important to you. So
exactly,
budgeting it so that things that are important to you, you can do them.
Yeah,
right?
it's there.
It's not. Oh, I can't do it because I don't have money.
It's not about feeling guilty about watching a movie
or
or going out for dinner or something like that. It's like no, it's been budgeted for.
Yeah,
the money's there.
And it's meant to be
used. That's what it's for.
That's what it's for.
And it's almost a good feeling. It's like okay, like it's been pre-decided.
Yeah.
And you know what? He has a podcast too. That's actually how I discovered him. It was just on the homepage of iTunes Store, and I know the podcast page probably, and then it just showed up YNAB. I'm like, what the hell is this? Cool. I started listening to it. I'm just like, this guy sounds reasonable from like what he's teaching. Then I looked at it. I downloaded the demo, and that's sort of how I got an understanding of YNAB. But on one podcast I was listening to, he says he made up his own Chinese proverb, and he says, budgeting failure is a failure to budget. Mm-hmm. So it's pretty much like the fact that you're budgeting already, like that's success in itself.
Yes,
because you're planning your money out. You're giving every dollar a job. Like there's rule number 1 or whatever it is. And I think that's the important thing. Because if you have no map, like if you have no direction, then what the hell is the point?
Yeah, it's a great point,
right? So I think it's a wicked tool. You guys should try it out. We don't get anything for sharing it.
No,
it's just I think that's
not yet. YNAB, step it up.
Yeah, maybe we'll try and get him on the show.
That would be cool.
That would be cool to hear from him, because he had a very, I know, like his story is pretty interesting. Like he was like
we're talking about what's his name again?
Jesse Meekum.
Jesse,
the guy.
Okay.
The only reason is because the podcast, and I know. I know his name, right?
So the creator of YNAB.
The creator of YNAB, like the owner, right? But he's he paid off his house really early. He started the whole thing as an Excel spreadsheet, and he just created it himself, and he started when he was in college.
Nice.
Like they were like very, very young. They got like he got married to his wife very young. Apparently, they were just like living like on the smallest amount of money.
Wow.
Literally. And they were managing this tiny amount of money, and then now like it's been a tool that I think a ton of people are getting value from. So
that's good. Yeah, well, it's not the amount of money; it's how you budget it, right?
Exactly, because it's like you can make 50 grand a year, you can make 500 grand a year. If you're spending more than you make, you got a fucking problem.
Yeah.
Right?
Absolutely. So how's your experience been? Because now you just started using it, but now you've got some real estate transactions closing. You've got some money that's going to be coming in.
Well, it's really part of it's being active about it and like being proactive, which like I have a problem with. I'm not always the most proactive person.
Yeah.
And it's like, I didn't get the receipt from this place. Like, how the hell am I going to remember what I spent? Like, some places you completely forget to get a receipt. Some places they're always giving you a receipt. And then I try to enter it every day, do whatever transactions I ended up doing. And it's just giving me new perspective. And I'm just like, oh, wow. I'm like, that's, like, it's just a new perspective.
Yeah.
Because when I was using Mint, it would just all be looking back, and it had so many freaking categories, and there's way too many categories, right? And I kind of like, I made it way too defined. And here I kind of broadened it a little bit more, so it's like
it makes it a lot easier
to manage and just easier to look at.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, and looking at it from a bigger picture, and I don't know. Like now I'm starting to look forward more at like, you know, the next month, the month after, the month after that. That's the biggest difference for me.
Yeah.
Usually I'm not looking more than the following week.
Yeah. Well, you brought up a great point with Mint, because I know we started using Mint last year sometime. And yeah, it just shows you, okay, this is where you've spent your money. So there's nothing really proactive there. Instead of just keeping your mind, oh, I spent too much on groceries. Okay, well, how much did you actually spend?
And then what?
You know, yeah, and then what?
Now what?
Exactly.
So you got this information. Like, how are you going to change it?
Yeah, how are you going to change it?
Here, it's like you have to be, you know, making stuff happen.
Yeah,
it's really cool.
So and the thing about YNAB compared to Mint is you can see also that you've look back and see how you've actually spent more on groceries than you were supposed to. So it does both. So you can look back, because that's the thing I looked at back as well. I mean, it's only been 6 weeks or 2 months, and I took a look back at last month and compared to this month, and I was like, okay. And the thing I'm using these first sort of 3 months for is to really get that budget, like
what are you actually spending?
What are we actually spending, and can we cut down in places, or do we need to increase in some places?
Yeah.
So, you know, using the first 3 months as sort of an experiment on where the money needs to get budget is where I'm at now. But yeah, being able to look back is a big thing as well, which is what Mint can do, but it's not going to help you look forward.
Yeah. I think that looking forward is really important, and as an entrepreneur, you got to have vision, and you got to look forward.
Yeah.
And you got to stretch that dollar, every single dollar.
Yeah.
Right?
Absolutely. Maximum
utility for every single piece of resource that you have. So yeah, I say try it out if you guys have never budgeted your money before, or you're looking for something new. YNAB has a great, I think they have a trial. A couple of days, like 34 days or something like that.
Yeah,
and it's not expensive, man. It's like 60 or $50.
Yeah. And then once you get that key, you know, you can
sync it with all your computers
and the computer, yeah, which is cool.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah,
cool, man. So what else are you using? Anything else new that you're using, like that are some good tools that people might be interested in?
I don't really know. Nothing really new that I'm using. Trying to think.
That's the most interesting one so far.
Right
now.
It really is. I probably need a new computer, because I've got the upgrade for YNAB, because they just released a new upgrade, but my computer's too old. And I
hear that from you too often.
I know.
It's like, oh yeah, I couldn't update it because my computer's too old. I couldn't get that software. I couldn't get that patch. I couldn't get this.
I can't.
Dude.
MacBook's
you
too old.
are patient. I can't believe you've held on that long.
That's okay. I haven't budgeted for it. That's why. Yeah.
And you know what? And like this, like I'm gonna be switching my MacBook Pro up as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you're gonna be.
Well, I'm gonna try and use the money I get from that and just like completely even out and walk away with a MacBook Air.
Yeah.
You know.
So you want to go with the Air?
I need to get something a bit more practical. Something I can take around with me.
Yeah.
Something like I need to be high powered too. I want to get 8 gigs of RAM.
Yeah.
And
but the new Pros are small.
The new Pros, it is thinner.
Yeah.
But
thinner.
I don't know. I just want the Air is thinner.
I know.
Like it's 3 pounds.
That's what I'm saying, man. I wanted the Air for.
Yeah. I like this because I want the big screen to like for videos and music and like seeing the stuff. But I think with the Air, I'm just gonna manage with it for that, and then eventually budget myself to get one of those big ass, you know, displays that they have, the Mac ones, and then that'll be my hook. That'll be my desktop. I'll just hook it up to the Air, have this huge screen, and do everything that way.
Exactly, man.
And have the best of both worlds, right? Mobility, practicality with the Air. Desktop, you know, massive screen and ability to do a bunch of applications.
At your home office.
Exactly.
That's what I've been saying for years, man. You've been rocking this 17-inch.
I love it, but
Pro.
It's 15.
Is it 15?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, you got.
But it's At the time, it wasn't an issue until
you started carrying it around.
I never would. I guess before I got that, I wasn't carrying a computer around as often as I do now.
Yeah.
I thought it would be at home most of the time. Now it's like it could be any time I might need it. Yeah. I might need to do an email. I might need to write an offer or do something like that, right? Or do research on a house or whatever it is. And if it was a MacBook Air, it would be just so tiny, so easy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Or you can just get an iPad. Or you can get an iPad as well.
Or an iPad. Or an iPad as well. Whatever. Yeah, Mac will have its own section in YNAB.
Yeah,
or Apple products.
Apple products. That is something that I do need to upgrade, though. That's something I got to start budgeting for, is my own, because I want to get an Air as well, MacBook Air.
Yeah.
And I got to wait for the new iPhone 5 before I stick it to Rogers.
Well, you know what? Like, I think all of this ties into some of the stuff that I kind of wanted to talk about, because we're talking about the budgeting. We're talking about, you know, planning for the future. We're talking about, you know, paychecks not being steady all the time. We're talking about, you know, wanting to save up and get a new MacBook or whatever it is, and and that sort of is related to, as a holistic entrepreneur, when you're facing like adversity, or you're facing like a lull or like a down type of feeling, where it's like, okay, I'm doing all the actions, but I'm not seeing the results right now, and it's like, here's my big vision. This is what I want to achieve with my business and my value and my services, and I'm doing all the necessary actions. Like, I'm doing the calls, I'm writing the blogs, I'm networking, and, you know, I'm promoting the product, I have my email list, and I'm doing all this stuff, and it's like the results aren't coming as fast as you want it.
Right.
That's sort of where a lot of people have been are facing right now. I think it's like a lot of people are going through that type of issue, where it's like, it's summer, it's July, you know, I don't know when my next paycheck's gonna come. What the hell? Like what should I do, Oliver? What's going to happen? Because I'm getting anxious.
Yeah, that's a great point, because it happened. I mean, as an entrepreneur, it happens to everybody, right? When your income is a direct result of the actions that you do, your habits. The thing that I learned when we had our business, and the thing I learned, like, with my wife as well, is not to be attached to the outcome. You can't be attached to the outcome, because when you're always attached to the outcome, that's all you're thinking about. You're not thinking about the outcome, or you're not thinking about the actions. You're attached more to what the result is, where you can't be attached to that. You can't be attached to the front part. The back part will take care of itself. No, and it was like that when we had our business. It was like, okay, when's the next paycheck? Well, no. Once I started thinking, okay, less on the back end, less on the result. Let's start thinking about, okay, what do we need first? Where's the leads? And then do the actions to get the leads. The back part took care of itself.
Exactly.
The business came. And that's what I focused on.
Delivering service, delivering value.
Yeah. I was always focusing on, when I would go to bed at night, I would focus on, okay, I've got new leads in my inbox in the morning. And it almost instantaneous. It was always like that. Okay, going to sleep tonight. End of the day, I had a good day. I'm going to wake up tomorrow, and I've got 3 new leads.
Callbacks and things like that.
Yeah, next morning I'd have 3 new leads.
Yeah.
And that's what we would focus on. I wouldn't be focused on, okay, we need the next paycheck coming in. It was always, when's the next lead? And then the rest took care of itself. And it was the same with Michelle, my wife, when she was starting her coaching and starting her corporate coaching and her personal coaching. I was always, you know, harping on her about the results. Okay, we need, you know, I mean, we're both entrepreneurs. It was, you know, I think, you know, times got tight. It was like, okay, you need to bring in money. We got to take care of this family. You need to bring in money. And then once I sort of just let it go, and I was like, you know what?
Let go of the result.
Let it go. I'm completely unattached. I'm just going to let it happen. Let her do what she needs to do. It was like, boom.
It just flows.
The floodgates open. It was just like, oh, got a new client. Oh, I'm going to be a new coaching client, new corporate client. It was like, boom. It all just opened up.
That's hilarious, man.
And then it was, I mean, if there are any holistic entrepreneurs out there, and you do have partners, spouses, you know, that's a big thing that you should learn as well, is, you know, you can't get on your partner's case, right? And even if you have a business partner, you can't be getting on your partner's case. You have to trust that they're going to do what they need to do, and you do what you do, and it will take care of itself.
Yeah, and you want to have that positive energy, right? Like any type of worry or somebody depending on you, or that stuff will occupy your energy, when you're supposed to be focusing it on, how do I grow my business? How do I generate more leads? How do I provide the best quality service to the clients that I do have right now? Instead, you're thinking about, it's like, oh my gosh, I need to close a deal. I need to get someone to sign a contract. I need a paycheck. Like, oh my god, like, and I'm stressed out, and everyone's telling me that I need to produce, and you know, then you're just enslaving yourself to the result.
Yeah.
Rather than being like, I am a provider.
Yeah.
Like, I provide value. I provide for my family. I provide for my future, for my lifestyle. You know, I'm abundant. I come from contribution.
Yes. Yeah. And yeah, I mean, when you're focusing on the wrong thing, that's what you get the wrong thing.
Yeah.
You got to focus
You
on
get
the
more
right
of what
thing.
you stress for, right?
Yeah. You get more of where you put your energy, positive or negative. And where you put negative energy, that's a lot stronger.
Yeah.
So if you're putting a lot of negative energy towards not having the paycheck yet, guess what? You're going to have more of not having the paycheck yet.
Yeah, exactly. Like,
when you put your positive energy towards, I need to help more people, right? I need more clients. I need more people to help. You know, I got to focus my energy on positive things. You're going to get those positive things. And then the money will take care of itself.
Exactly.
That's the way it always worked that way. And even when we were working together, it was, you know, I would trust you were doing what you need to do, and then you would trust that I'm doing what my job is, and then the business took care of itself. Huge lesson.
That's how it works, man.
That's how it works.
And you know what? It's like, if you're in a situation right now, if you're feeling really stressed out about your next paycheck, you don't know when it's going to come, you don't know when your next lead, your next deal, your next opportunity, whatever it is, why are you scared, right? I don't know, like, okay, so if you think about it, here's my vision. This is what I'm going to do to help change the world. Buy this product, service, whatever it is. And I truly believe in it.
Right.
And I believe that it's going to help a ton of people. And I believe in the value that I can bring to the marketplace. If you're scared, then you don't believe.
Yeah, you don't believe.
You do not believe. Because if you do believe and you trust, then you can't control anything else. That's the only thing you can control.
Yeah.
Right? What you can't control is when the next deal is going to come, and when the who's going to be in high priority for the next closing or whatever it is, who's going to be next, or when's the next paycheck going to come. Those things you can't really control. What you can control is, I believe in what I'm doing.
You believe, yeah, absolutely.
And it shows through in every conversation and every potential customer that I talk to, and I trust it, and that's it. And as soon as you believe it, it starts showing up. It starts coming.
Yeah, you focus your energy on that, and not the other stuff. Yeah, focus your energy on what you believe in. You focus on your product. Focus on the things that you can control. You can't control when the next paycheck's going to come in,
but you can't control your mindset.
You can control your mindset. You can control, how many times you pick up the phone. You can control how many doors you knock on. You can focus on those things, the things you control.
Yeah, and if you're doing the right things, and this is what it's all about. It's like, are you doing the right things? Then yes. Are you doing the best that you can? Yes. Is it aligned with your values and your goals? Yes. Is it getting you closer to your vision? Yes. Why are you scared?
Yeah, then why are you scared?
It's gonna come. You know what I mean? It's gonna come.
Yeah.
And you know what? Okay, well, I guess if you have a bad product, you have a bad service, or a bad idea, then, you know what I mean? Eventually you have to look at the results. And you have to be willing to make a change in what you're doing and what you're offering, because
especially this day and age.
Yeah, this day and age, if it's been 6 months and you're not seeing, and 6 consistent months of action, of measured action, of tracked action, and there's no results, then it might not be the right business, man. It might not be the right thing for you to be doing.
Yeah, absolutely.
But other than that, usually it's it's the ones who just persist that succeed.
Absolutely.
That get to that next hurdle.
Yeah, especially if you have a business model that has a proven track record.
Yeah, and it's been done before.
It's been done before. Yeah, but in the end,
there's always an 80-20.
There's always 80-20. And in the end, sales is sales. So if you have a product that people need, if you do the work, if you put in the time, you pick up the phone, you make those calls, you have those conversations, the business is going to work.
Yeah.
If it's not working, like you said, after those, you have 6 months, and you've been tracking it, you've been making, whatever, 100 contacts a week, 100 contacts a day, 20 contacts a day, or 100 contacts a week, and if everybody doesn't like your product, if nobody is there to even move from somebody you call to at least a prospect, then probably your product is not what people are looking for.
Exactly. Exactly. You know what? And that's the thing, right? And you know what? Sometimes, like I'll give you one example. There is a colleague that I have, and she has like this prospective client, and it's not really the ideal client. Let's just say that they're not, you know, like I guess there's two parties that are involved, and they're not exactly seeing eye to eye, or they don't have the same relationship. She doesn't have the same relationship with two of these people, right? And what I shared with her is that maybe you should write down exactly what your ideal client looks like, and then stack them up against them, right? And see, like, maybe this is not the ideal person to work with, right? Like, do you want to work with someone who values your time, who values your service, who makes decisions quickly, who has integrity and follows through on what they say? Like, if these are things that you want in a client, and they don't meet like this minimum standard that you have, then you shouldn't be worrying about this client. You shouldn't be putting your energy on it, because you know that they're not going to be a fit, right? But you know, things happen, and you put your effort in, and you get it, then that's great. But if they're going to be a hassle, then don't be afraid. Don't feel bad for letting them go and just passing on it. You know, but it's tough if that's the only thing that you have. If that's the only thing that you have, then it might be an issue, right? But if you're doing the right things, then you should have more opportunity than that, right?
Absolutely.
You should have more avenues and things like that.
Yeah, and if you continue to do the right things, then those opportunities are just going to continue to come in. But yeah, absolutely. If that's the only lead that you have, it's the only lead you're working on,
then you're going to put all your time into it. You're going to be thinking about it the most.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I think it's another good point to write down what's this ideal situation you're looking for.
Yeah.
Right. Whether it's like, this is the perfect work schedule, or this is how I want my work and life to be, or like, this is what my ideal client looks like. This is what it, you know, just having this vision, right?
Yeah.
Like, you got to dig deep, and like, this is self-knowledge that you're looking for. And now that you have something to measure these situations, these people, these clients against, you're gonna have a new perspective. Everything's gonna look completely new to you. You're gonna be like, oh, wow, this person isn't decisive. This person does not value my time, does not value my service or anything like that. Why am I wasting time with them?
Yeah.
There's so many other people out there to help. And then, and like, so the work, like, if you're worrying about that, then that's misplaced.
Yeah. And that's, one of the very first things that we did once we started getting our business going was ideal client, ideal investor, ideal work schedule.
Yeah, we did that ahead of time.
Oh, absolutely.
We did that way ahead of time.
And then what we found is, the investors that we worked with, they met our minimum standard.
Yeah.
You know, the clients,
at least 70% of it.
Yeah,
right.
Absolutely.
And it's, you know what, it's so good to predetermine that. And even when we started, we're just like, okay, this is the lifestyle that we want, and this is the business that we're building, and this has to support what we want.
Yeah.
And anything that is against it, we don't touch it. We don't do it, right? And that's it. And like, then you don't feel bad, because it's you're clear about it.
Exactly.
You're making conscious decisions about your business, about your life, about these things.
And it was the same thing when we decided to shut down the business. Yeah. Right? Quick decision. The business wasn't meeting the lifestyle that we wanted as holistic entrepreneurs.
Because we've changed. The business changed.
Business changed.
Time has changed.
Absolutely. Things changed. And quick decision. Boom. Yeah. You know what? Weren't attached to it. We weren't attached to the end result.
Yeah.
We weren't attached to the business. It was just, you know what? It's not fitting what we want for our life.
Yeah.
Let's move on, man.
Exactly.
Something else.
It's not an easy one to make when you've put the time and effort into it, but trust me, like, I don't know, for me it's been like, it took a long time to finally like just get to that point, but once it was there, once it was like just realized, like we moved on it quick.
Yeah.
And
we made that decision quick.
It's scary, you have no idea what's going to happen on the other side of it, but you just gotta trust, right? Like,
absolutely.
If you are at a job and you hate it and you cringe about it, the longer you wait, the more poison you create in your body, in your system, and you got to let go of that stuff. You got to be willing to let go of what's bad, the people that are bad, the job that is bad, all these different things that are poison to your environment. Get rid of, because it doesn't contribute to the vision that you want.
Yeah, that's a great point, because if you're right up here, right? If you are right up here, you've done self-development, you've done personal knowledge, you've taken a look at your life, you know who you are. Leaving a job should be easy.
Yeah.
Because you know what you can do.
Yeah.
You know.
And if you don't leave your job, then you don't believe in your vision.
And your vision. Absolutely.
Oh, man. That's so big, dude.
Absolutely. You know, it's when
I think that's completely true.
We were talking to... Who was saying it? We're talking to Muhammad. And he always brings up all the time. He's just like, I could put you guys anywhere in the world. I could drop you anywhere in the world, and I know you guys would make it.
Yeah.
Anywhere.
Be okay.
I know you guys would be okay. You would find a way to make it. Because we're right up here.
Yeah.
We know that we can go anywhere in the world, and who we are will be able to make it.
Yeah, and that's, you know what, and that's why the holistic approach is so key, and why that's why we talk about it so much. It's because you know yourself, you know your value, you know that you can accomplish anything you put your mind to, like they say in Back to the Future. So you can accomplish anything you put your mind to, and that is like, that's where it begins. You have this self-awareness, you have this self-confidence, you can be in any situation, and whatever it is outside of you, you know you can't control it, but you can control your perception, your reactions, your actions, your words, like all of this stuff, and you know how powerful that actually is.
Yeah.
In manifesting and creating your reality, you know.
Yeah, that's a good point. You know, and to bring up, sort of like bring it full circle. You know, talking about like YNAB, right? YNAB, taking a look at your budget, doing something like this, and taking and writing down what it is that you want out of your life. It's almost like budgeting it out, right? You budget it out. What kind of clients were you looking at before in the past? Okay, what kind of clients do I now want to work with in the future? Right? Take a look at your inventory right now. So it's, I mean, you can apply that same sort of principle to of YNAB and budgeting and everything in the history. You can apply it to your business, apply it to your life. I mean, those sort of those sort of lessons can be learned and utilized to make a better life.
I know. One lesson in one area of your life is not a lesson in just one area of your life.
No.
It affects so many things and so many levels.
Absolutely. I'm learning that also with scuba diving, right? I take a look at my wife, and she, not deathly afraid, but she freaks out underwater. And to see her, you know, progress and get comfortable and, you know, to learn something new and overcome these fears.
Yeah.
Huge.
That's massive.
Because that opens up your world.
That changes everything.
And to know that you yourself have done that. You yourself have overcome a fear. Mm-hmm. Right? And that could be for you entrepreneurs or people who are in a job.
It could be important
decisions. If your fear is leaving that job, just like, you know, if my wife's fear is breathing underwater, if you can overcome that fear, look at what that does for you as a person.
I know.
It's huge.
Every time you step towards your fear, every time you overcome the fear, oh my, you've
grown.
Yeah, you've reached another level. You've opened a new door.
And the things, and like scuba diving, the things you can experience when you overcome that fear. If you're in a job and you're stuck there and you hate it, and I mean you're deathly afraid of leaving the job,
you're missing out on a lot.
Fear of poverty, and you have some other dream that you want to live. When you get over that fear, like scuba diving, you get over that fear, there's a whole other world
that you couldn't even expect. You couldn't even plan for.
Yeah,
you can't. You could be like, oh yeah, I want to get over my fear of breathing underwater and scuba diving, and then like I know that once I achieve that, like right now at this moment, I can't even imagine what that looks like and what that's gonna mean to me and my life.
Yeah.
Once I can actually scuba dive, I don't know. I know that I want to do it and I want to learn it and how cool it would be to be underwater, and I can sort of imagine it, and you know I've seen videos, but in reality, once that happens, I have no idea what my life is going to be like what it's going to mean to my life, how it's going to impact my travel decisions, how it's going to impact my money decisions, how it's going to impact my different activities that I want to do that might support You know, like, so there's so many things, like your perspective can completely change. So if you don't step towards that fear, you will never know what you don't know is possible.
Yeah, absolutely.
You don't know what's possible for yourself until because the whole thing is, okay, like the number one job as an entrepreneur is finding out what is the number one opportunity, number one problem, number one obstacle that I'm facing right now, and then find a solution for it.
Yeah.
Because you could be dealing with the wrong problem for a long time and going nowhere. Because if you deal with this problem first, the one that's actually the real one that's holding you back, the number one you should be facing, all the steps after that will change.
Exactly.
You can't be working on the wrong problem.
Can't be working on the right. Yeah, focusing. Yeah, and that's like it's like focusing on the next paycheck. You can't be focusing on the next paycheck when there are other things that are immediate.
Yeah, you have a lead generation problem.
Yeah, you got a lead generation problem. Of course, you're gonna have a money
you have
problem.
Service fulfillment, service delivery.
So you focus on lead generation. You focus on servicing your client. That the rest of that shit will take care of itself. It'll take care of itself.
Because that's step 8.
Yeah,
you need step 1 or whatever the next step is.
Yeah, wherever you're having that block, that money block in your business, you take care of that block. The money's gonna come. It'll take care of itself.
So what kind of things do you do when it's like it's kind of overcome you? If you like, and you're aware of it, because like as an aware person, like in tune with your body.
Were you talking about like business wise? What do I
like business wise and personally, where you're just like, oh, like I'm in a lull right now. It's like you're not feeling normally like energetic. You're not as motivated. You're not as positive or upbeat about it, and you just feel it in your bones, you feel it in your body.
Yeah, like
what do you do to kind of get back into it, trying to like just, or do you let it happen? Do you let the feeling happen and like let it go through, or do you like start trying to reprogram and trying to move yourself in a new direction?
So first, when issues like that happen or when things like that happen, I try to immediately notice, that something's actually happening, right? And become aware of the fact that I don't feel 100% right now. And then I take a look, okay, why? What's the issue? And if it's something that I can fix, then I'll try to fix it. If it's something that I can't fix, fuck it. I don't worry about it. Like, I mean, if I can't control it, what can I do? Focus on what I can control. So I'll focus on the stuff that I can control.
Yeah.
And if that is something that I can control, where it's, if it's something that I could do that will make me happy, that could control it, I'll go do whatever's going to make me happy. Right? I'll go focus somewhere else.
Yeah.
Focus my energy on something else.
Cool, man. Yeah, that's, I think that's an important thing. You have to start with the awareness first. If you lack the self-knowledge to even realize that you're having you're in a rut, then you're just going to get deeper in it.
Exactly.
So it's kind of, it's important to have that awareness first, because if you don't admit that you have a problem, that there's an issue here, then you're just nothing's going to happen. Nothing's going to change. You're just going to continue feeling that way. You're going to be stuck in that, zone. Yeah,
exactly. And it's like quicksand. Just keep going down and down and down. And then everything that negative happens in your life, it's because of this. Because then you just end up being like a sourpuss. You end up being like a
sourpuss,
whatever.
Negative Nancy.
Yeah. So
I
mean, trying to recognize whenever I don't feel, or where something's going wrong, just recognizing it first.
Yeah,
I think that's a huge step in itself. Is admitting, you know what, something went wrong, something's not right, and then figuring out, right, is there something I can do about it?
Is there something that I just got to let happen,
or something I just got to let happen, or just and a lot of the times too, it's if I can't control
you have
it,
nothing to do,
I'll let it go.
If you can't do anything about it, you just gotta.
I'll leave it up to the universe.
Yeah, you just gotta be okay with it.
Yeah, that's a big thing. And I mean, there are some things that I could even control, and a lot of times I'm just like, you know what, I'm just gonna leave it up to the universe. I'm just gonna let it happen itself. Because there were times where it's like, okay, you know what, it's up to Michelle, or it's up to somebody else. You know what? Okay, maybe I can give that person a call, or maybe I can talk to this person or that person. But you know what? I'm just going to let it happen. I'm going to let the universe take care of it.
Yeah.
And let all the time. And the universe will just end up taking care of it.
It always does. And you know what? I think the coolest part is that you make it to the other side. And some people take that for granted, I think. Some people don't get into that, cross the finish line and make that thing happen and really reflect and be like, oh my God, like I was so scared of when I was going to get my next paycheck. And here I am, like, and I made it through. Like, I'm still standing. I'm still here. I'm still alive.
Yeah.
There was no life-threatening, situation. And people need to recognize that and just be like, wow, I can make it through anything.
Yeah.
Like, 'cause the further you go, like the bigger you go, the more of this you're going to face. And it's going to be a next level of fear, next level of achievement, next level of fear, next level of achievement. And it's going to be one after another.
Absolutely.
And it's like, once you get used to that change and making that change and making those decisions, it's just going to be like, oh yeah, there's that feeling again. Let's move towards it.
Yeah.
Please.
You invite those...
The exhilaration.
The exhilaration. You invite those places where you're outside of your comfort zone.
Yeah, exactly. Because
that's where the change happens.
That's where the change happens.
Yep.
So cool, man.
That's the way life works, right?
Yeah. Yep. I think a lot of people are going to go through that, and you might be facing that right now. And you know what? You might be... you might be in good times. You might be having the time of your life right now. Business might be flourishing. But that doesn't mean you shouldn't be aware of what's going on, of what's the direction I'm going to, of maybe slowing down and making sure that, okay, everything's going the way I want it to go. Should I talk to my coach or my mentor and make and kind of like get other opinions? I think that's one of the most important things to do is, like, in the good times, make sure you're still on track.
On track, yeah.
And not losing control and not just like riding a wave and just like, oh, money's coming in, so I'm going to stop all the important stuff like lead generation and, delivering good service or whatever it is, and I'm just going to let it, whatever.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that self-reflection, that awareness, all that, it doesn't matter. Good or bad times, it's going to be, that's an important part of the holistic entrepreneur type of philosophy.
There's always something to work on.
Yeah.
Always.
It's yourself, it's your business, it's your health.
Absolutely. The business is going great. You can always work on yourself, right? Always something new to discover. Always different ways to expand. Yeah. So, how we doing?
We're like an hour in.
Okay. Hour in. Good conversation.
Yeah, man. So, is there anything else that has happened recently that might inspire some conversation?
Anything else that's happened recently?
That would be helpful for some of our listeners?
Well, I don't know. Anything happened? Anything new happened for you? You got a couple trips planned?
Oh, yeah. So talk about fear, man.
Fear.
Okay.
Yeah.
And here's, like, this story will include intention, manifestation, facing my survival mechanism and fear,
wicked,
deciding quickly, and like deciding on something and accomplishing something that is completely aligned with values and goals and vision and all that.
Nice.
And is also self-introspect. Like, so it's holistic. It's a holistic freaking decision, and then so many things happen. So it's kind of cool. So there's a guy named Philip McKernan. He is he's a coach. He's a life coach, right? And his tagline, I believe, is authentic personal growth. And I took a course with him in 2009 called Base Camp. Right. And it's sort of like an introductory course to what he's really up to, what he can really do for you. And I learned so much stuff about myself. And he's so direct and so in tuned. He's able to like just pull some amazing stuff out of you. And the decisions I made, and that was in 2009. From 2009 till now, the decisions I made back then and the distinctions and the newfound awareness and self-knowledge like has completely impacted where I am today. Like that had a lot to do with it. And it's been a long time since I've done work with him. So maybe just a week ago, I was like, oh, you know what? I wonder if I can meet up with him. I wonder if he has a course happening in August. I would love to go and visit him in Vancouver because I've never been in Vancouver before.
Nice.
And I was like, oh, I want to work with him. And just because I've seen the value, right? So Ian Zabel's worked with them.
Yeah.
And the change that he's made in terms of his relationships, his family, his health, And you've seen him on the show.
Yeah.
And like his 2 books, like he's just, and his school, his flip school, he's up to so many things. And like that happened, like a lot of that had to do with the work that he did on himself with the guidance of Philip McKernan.
Yeah.
And then our friend Cam McCarroll, the amazing changes and decisions that he's made completely put more time and resources to what's valuable for him. And just on and on. I could go on and on with the people that have achieved great results with them, myself included. So I believe in him. I believe in Philip McKernan. And I wanted this. All of a sudden I get an email. Okay? Like literally days after I started thinking about this seriously. And it's like, oh, Brave Soul in Ireland. Like an Irish adventure. And I'm like, are you kidding me? And Brave Soul is apparently his baby. Like this is the biggest, like his biggest event that you really break down your fears, like your past, you find your authentic self, you make, serious important decisions, distinctions, reach new levels of awareness, like become more in tune with your body and more in tune with your intuition. Like there's so much, right? And it was like an immediate yes. Like my gut feeling, I didn't even read the email. I just read like in a split second, I'm just like, I'm going to this. And immediately I called, I messaged Cam. I was like, hey man, can we talk about Philip McKernan? Then I asked him his opinion, like what, if I should do it. And he kind of guided me through some questions. And I was just like, yeah, well, my gut says the first thing's right away. So there it was. I intended it. Then I manifested it. And I started to make the decision quickly.
Yeah.
So it was within 24 hours. I was already like, I only wanted to talk to one person, and that was Cam, in terms of his opinion. And then, like, he didn't even give me his opinion. He kind of just asked me, like, what are you trying to do here, right? And so here are the things. Here's the decision. I'm going to go to Ireland. Here's this course, right? It's about self-knowledge. It's about finding yourself. It's about, like doing something completely new, stepping into something I'm really scared of. And like, I started facing this fear. And I'm just like, why am I facing this fear? I want to travel. I want to see a new country. I wanted to meet Philip McKernan. I want to do this type of work. Yeah. I want to have this. The entire experience itself is aligned with so many of my values. I'm like, so that's really holistic. And then this fear comes up, right? And then the fear was, number one, it was practicality. It was like, well, I know I'm going to Costa Rica in September, and I'm going to Trinidad in October, and I was going to do those like one after another.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I don't want to take all that time away from work, and like the timing wise, like I don't want to come back and then work for 3 weeks and then leave again for 3 weeks and then come back. Like I think that might not make any sense. And I'm like, is it worth putting that money here, or I could use it somewhere else, or to pay something else off or whatever. And so those are the main fears that happened. It was like practically in terms of timing and how it'll affect my business and my momentum, and how it'll affect me financially, right? And then the third fear was, who am I, like, what is going to change about me,
right,
when I get back? Because right now, all I could think of, there's life before Ireland and there's life after Ireland. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because I know that once I come back, there's going to be some fundamental change in my philosophy, in my self-knowledge, my new awareness, and a decision about my life in a direction. I know it. And that's what I was starting to get scared of. I'm just like, holy, like, what am I going to do? Am I going to do something drastic? Like, what's going to happen, right? Like, am I going to find out something so important that I have to do everything possible to make it happen? Like, what is it going to be? And you know what? That's out of my control. I don't know what it is, right? Like, that is out of my control. And then I'm just like, what is in my control? So this is like, we're talking about this the whole time, right? So it's hilarious.
Whole conversation.
So what am I in control over? And I'm in control over the time, right? I'm like, okay, I don't want to have this trip like really interfere with my other trips. So now I'm considering maybe I'll do Costa Rica after Trinidad. And there you go. I have a month and a half of like back to work, then I go away again. So it's not like some like go to one trip, come back a bit, and then go away again. So there's that problem, right? And then financially, I haven't had a coach for a while, so I have that money that I can put towards something like that.
Yeah.
And I was already budgeting money for traveling and stuff like that. And so it's already in there.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay, so I have control. Like, these are things I have control over. This is what I don't have control over. And this is what my gut said right from the beginning. Okay, I'm going to do it. Emailed, boom, I want in. And I was the first one in. I text messaged, I emailed, I called, left a voicemail, everything. And I was the first person to get the spot.
Nice.
And I got it. And I'm going to freaking Ireland next month.
That's awesome, man.
So now it's like, looking back at the whole thing, because it happened in such a short period of time, it's like, wow, intention, manifestation, gut feeling, fear, survival mechanisms, thinking about what I can control, what I can't control, and making a decision all within a very, very short period of time. And then looking at it as, okay, holistically, is this taking me towards what I value?
Yeah.
Is this what's important to me? Is this what I value? Boom. And there you go. And now I'm going to freaking Ireland, man. And
That's
it's so good.
That's amazing, man.
Yeah,
that's amazing.
It's interesting, eh?
That's awesome.
It came together in a very interesting way.
Well, when you can intend and manifest, and you know what you can do.
Yeah, it was a well themed episode.
That's been a very well themed episode, yeah.
And to be honest, folks, that was everything was not planned.
No, we didn't plan anything today.
And even for the hour we were both here, we hardly even talked to each other.
Well, because the hour we were here before the show wasn't even an hour. I got home at
half an hour, eating.
Half hour. I was eating.
Yeah,
I was washing dishes 2 minutes before I walked in.
Yeah. We were no, I swear
Nothing.
to you, no plans.
This is completely ad lib. And a minute before I walked in, I was just getting this water, and you can see it's still full of ice. That's how. Yeah. That's how new it is.
And that's what it is. That's how we. I mean, you know what? That's how it is. We just show up.
Yeah.
Right. And we do this for you guys. We do this for you guys every single week because I think there's so much value to be had, and I think 5 years, 6 years ago, if I had something like this to listen to and kind of be guided by, and we're sort of we're trying to teach you and trying to bring people in that can teach you certain principles and lessons that they've learned in their lives so that you can bring it into your own life and just pick and choose, because no one person is going to have the one right answer.
Yeah, absolutely. Right? Yeah. Because our life paths are going to be completely different from your life paths. What worked for us might be completely the wrong thing to do for you. Absolutely. Because I look at how Michelle and I live our lives and the decisions we've made and how we've manifested our life. And yeah, for other people out there, and probably, 80-20 again, majority of people out there are just like, these people are fucking crazy, but that's our life path, and that's the path that we chose for us, and we are living
consciously, decision by decision,
absolutely,
by choice. Live by choice, not by default. What? I think that's someone saying, but I don't know. It sounds like it.
Sounds good.
Yeah, it does sound good, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does sound.
No one said it. That is mine.
Yeah.
No. You know what? And I think that's one thing I want to say is that none of this stuff is yours or mine.
No.
It's not ours. It's not. I think it's everybody's. This information is everybody's. Everyone's the people we have on the show. Your story, my story, our guest story. That's your story. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
We need to learn how to draw from other people's stories and see parallels and connections that you might not have otherwise have seen.
Exactly. It's a life story. It's your life story.
Yeah.
Right? It's our life story.
Yeah. And we could all learn from each other. It doesn't matter. We could be talking about scuba diving. We could talk about surfing. We could talk about guitar. We could talk about business. All of it, there's so much intertwined. They all impact each other. They're all connected somehow.
It's holistic.
And it's holistic. And you know what? It's so terrible that we have to say it so often. That word. Because is there any better word right now?
There is no better word.
I don't think there's no better word to really say.
No. We could say encompassing.
All encompassing. Ubiquitous is kind of pretentious. Universal.
Universal?
Yeah, universal.
That could work.
Yeah. Yeah, but there's so many things. I mean, and okay, so here's another thing. This week, and I haven't even talked to you about this yet.
Okay.
Is lately I've been feeling that there's something wrong, and I couldn't pinpoint what it is. And I'm just like, what? I'm like, is there something off? There is something off and out of integrity, and it doesn't feel right, and I have to find out what it is. There it is again. And what I'm realizing is, I think the purpose of the show was to do the show, because we had these amazing conversations. Sometimes people would sit in and be really interested in it, and sometimes they'd get recorded and they weren't posted or anything like that, but they were valuable, right? And then we'd meet with other people and we'd be like, oh my god, how many people would get value from the conversation we just had with this person?
Yeah.
And
people have told us that so many times.
Yeah.
I just want to sit and talk to you guys,
listen
to you guys talk.
Yeah. And we started the show, and we're just like, okay, let's do the show, and it doesn't matter who's watching. It doesn't matter how many people are watching the show, and let's just focus on just talking and educating and sharing like some valuable stuff, things that we love to talk about and think that a lot of people can get value from.
Yeah.
And then I'm just like, now from the feedback that we're getting and the conversations, the quality of conversations like today, the type of quality that we're getting, I'm at a point where I feel like more people need to hear this.
Okay.
Not yeah, you know what? I want to have more viewers. I think we should I want more people to be listening to it and getting value from it. And I think we can be doing some more to make it more available to people, or I don't know, but I think that's something that we need to sit down and talk about. Is what ideas can we put into action? Should there be an event? Should we do an additional show every week? Should we have different segments? Should we have some pre-recorded type of segments? Should we create a mailing list? Because there's no organization, there is no plan for this right now, guys.
Yeah, this is just
there's just a basic philosophy. Camera. There's just a basic core philosophy, and everything else is just whatever, man. Our website, there's no real website. There's nothing being updated. Yeah, there's nothing. And I think there are ways that we can make it easier for people to consume this and share it and get the value from it. And I feel for me personally, I feel like I'm neglecting that, and that it's being under promoted, I guess, under kind of neglected, I guess, just neglected.
Yeah, we could do. We should sit down and talk.
Yeah, yeah.
You know what thing that we did it once that I really liked was talking about an article.
Yeah,
that was just short, just something like a half hour.
Yeah,
20 minutes, half
segment
hour.
Where we just dissect some stuff.
Yeah, this is something cool. It's in the news today,
or argue against something.
Or argue, yeah, just something like that.
Yeah,
those were I really enjoyed that because it's quick, and then it could be for our viewers very quick. Just like a 20-minute. Here's a cool article that we saw. We just talked about, or here's something that we saw and we don't believe in. What do you guys think? Just talk about that. Get more of a conversation.
Exactly.
With our viewers, maybe getting more of a conversation with our viewers.
Yeah, exactly.
That might,
Yeah, we need to get into conversation with our viewers for sure. I think that would be a great way to spark conversation. Yeah, and we want to engage. Yeah, I want to engage more people. And the other thing, I was just maybe we should have people calling in. Sure. and whatever they want to talk about. I don't know. There's just so many things that we can do. So many directions. It's I don't know where to start, right? It's almost like there's too much out there that we can do and try. So I think maybe we should meet regularly and just sit down and kind of talk about the direction of where it's going, what we want to do with it, how do we grow it, do we need to, put money into here, and do we need to get outside help, resources, whatever it is, because I really think that this needs to get out to more and more people. And it's been growing on its own, and it's freaking awesome.
That is the thing too, is it has been growing on its own.
Yeah.
Right.
Which I love that.
Which I know. I love that. It's cool seeing, the millions and millions of you guys that liking the Facebook page. This is awesome. So thank you guys so much.
Yeah.
Glad you guys are enjoying the content that we're putting together and the stuff we're putting on Facebook and the videos. And so we're going to continue to grow. we'll grow this puppy.
There's a lot. I mean, there's a lot that I think that we can do, and I'm really excited about the possibility. But it's just one of those things. We just got to do it. Time.
Yeah.
And
we'll focus on what we
don't want to worry.
on.
Focus on what we can actually control. What can we control?
We can control? Yeah.
What's not in our control? There it is. Exactly. There are our principles and methods and like everything just comes together.
We should go old school and mind map.
Oh man, if we can get it on the screen like mind mapping and
that could be a very interesting show.
That would be really cool.
That would actually be very interesting.
Yeah, and that's another thing. Or like, should we have lesson formatted shows where it's like let's have like some sort of like masterminding, like what's our process on masterminding? How does it work? And
yeah, we could do that too.
There's so many things that we can do with the show, because I mean, this conversation is different than when there's a guest on. And that's something else. That's something else altogether.
Yeah.
Should there be a name for it? Do we need a theme song? Do we need, there's all these things where it's like now it feels like it's turning into
something,
like some sort of it's turning into something.
Yeah,
and it feels really right the way we're doing it. Just one video after another.
Yeah, one after another.
Yeah,
yeah. We'll start with a couple things. You guys will start to see some changes.
Yeah,
I think quick 20-minute, 30-minute article, book or something
every once in a while. Yeah.
I think those will be good too. Okay. That'll help us create more content.
Maybe we should set up a time and we'll sit down and mind map it all, like whatever ideas and strategies and things that we should implement and things that we should add or whatever it is, and we just have it laid out so we're aware of it and we're thinking about it.
Yeah, that's the thing. And if we have it mind mapped, then if it's mind mapped, then it's out of our head. It's on piece of paper, and we can intend and we can manifest on something tangible that we can actually. Yeah, we've gotten out.
Cool, man.
Cool.
Yeah, there's so much great stuff coming, man. I'm excited.
It's gonna be good.
I'm excited about the show.
Cool.
All right, man. Thank you very much, brother.
Thank you.
Thank you very much for watching. And if you guys got value out of it, please make sure that you share the link, share the video, tell your friends, like the page. Do what you can to help spread the word of the holistic entrepreneur.
Yeah. Facebook /holisticentrepreneur.ca.
Yeah, the holistic entrepreneur. Just search for find holistic entrepreneur on Facebook.
Oliver Manalese, Christopher G. Lim. Find us on Facebook there as well. Or Twitter.
Yeah. Facebook or Twitter. And that's pretty much it.
Yeah.
All right, guys. We'll catch you next time.
Next time.